All right, welcome back to the 2086 NBA playoffs. We are here, round two, game three, actually, of the Western Conference semifinals. Minnesota is up 4 with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. What is going to happen? We are here live, folks. Minnesota at Phoenix. What is going to happen? Peter McGuire drives to the rim, puts up a tough midi, gets blocked by Steven Gibson. My goodness. This game has been a bit of a doozy here, folks. I cannot hold you. Peter McGuire. Peter McGuire. My goodness. Look at this. 31 points, 10 assists, 8 turnovers. All right? 2 steals, 1 block, even. 3 rebounds. This is their point guard. What do you make of that? 10 assists, 2 steals, but 8 turnovers. So, okay, maybe... a steal for a turnover. That's 6 turnovers and then 10. Like, I don't know. Like, you could try to make it right. 7 dunks, by the way. It's crazy. But this guy, he brings exactly what they need to this team. They need some high-powered offense. They need some speed to go with Otis Chambers. Otis Chambers is young and he likes to run, but he can't be running with this old-ass team. We got Randolph Jennings is 33, and he is not having a great playoff series, man. He's just not having a great postseason in general. This team is just not, this team is just super, super interesting and inconsistent. Peter McGuire is averaging 42% field goal percentage in the playoffs, which is not bad, but it's not great, right? He's averaging 20 and 8 and 2 steals. So very great, very good numbers, exactly what they wanted. But, kind of inefficient. 100% from the free throw line, though. Okay, that's fine. Then we get to Randolph Jennings. He only had 23. He had 19 rebounds in this game, by the way. My goodness, 19 rebounds. 3 blocks, three turnovers. It's like, what's going on here? It's like, can y'all play a cohesive game? I know this is a tough Phoenix team, man. This team is very, very, very talented defensively. They're very strong. They're very athletic. They just have great IQ. This is a very veteran savvy team, man. Phoenix. They just know how to get in your skin and just grind your gears, man. This shit is pretty annoying, honestly. If you're a Minnesota fan, to just watch. But Randolph Jennings, 23 points, 19 in rebounds, 10 for 25 from field goal percentage. So, that's a little below 50%, probably in the 40s, probably in the 30s maybe. We got Roland O'Neal, though. My goodness, he is really showing his ass right now. Like, he is really trying to get a max contract or something. He is really trying to raise his stock. He's had a bit of an up-and-down career. I remember in the last series, you might remember, he was a top 5 pick back in 2079, so it was about 7 years ago at this point. And he started off, decent in Houston, but he was kind of expendable just because he wasn't rebounding well and he wasn't shot blocking very well. Only 7 rebounds a game and 1 block a game, and this guy's like 7'2", and he was a top 5 pick, so they expected him to be a little bit better. So they ended up shipping him to Houston in a little bit of a... It wasn't even a blockbuster trade. It wasn't even anything crazy. It was more of a culture shift type of trade. They were just kind of trying to loosen things up. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get some flexibility. Trying to just, change things up a bit. They needed some change around here. So they traded him along with Devin Cooper, I think, to Utah. No, I think it was for Devin Cooper. Either way, doesn't matter. Goes to Utah and he ends up. Then Juan Carlos Chavez goes to Utah and ends up taking him to the finals. So now Roland O'Neal finds himself as a backup center on an NBA Finals team. He was just a traded top 5 pick on a horrible team, Houston. So now he's like has this great experience, going to the finals with all-time great and all that. And then the next season after that, he gets shipped off to Miami, who was terrible, god awful. And he was the starting center. He was a backup on a championship level team. He goes to Miami and now he's a starter. So they weren't very good. And he only put up about 12 points and 5 rebounds on the season. But then the next year, like, look at these rebound numbers. Like, only 6 rebounds a game, 1 block. And this guy is super tall. He's 7'2". And it's like, what the hell? It's just kind of like, he's efficient, like 51%, 82%. Like, it's fine. But it's like, bruh, like, you could be doing so much more. Anyway, this past season, he really stepped up his game. And he was averaging about 8 rebounds a game and about 1.5 blocks. So Minnesota was like, fuck it. Bring him over here. We need a defensive anchor, basically. We need someone that could stand here and block shots. And, those numbers don't exactly scream defensive anchor, especially not in today's league, but it was good enough. This is a pretty talented team objectively, especially in the starting lineup at least. And they had a bit of a size issue. And so they thought that just having a big body in general, just having a big body in the paint would be very beneficial for them. Even if, Roland O'Neal is not the best defensive anchor in the league, he's not the best option necessarily, talent-wise or skill-wise, but he represents a height. He represents, he gives them something to lean on. He gives them like a bit of a presence in the paint, with that height. And he has a very long wingspan as well. So, and their power forward, what's his name? Jennings. Their power forward, Randolph Jennings, is only about 6'10". So they really needed that extra size in the center position. They couldn't just have a normal 7-footer or something like that. No, they need like this guy, 7'2", long wingspan. And so that was the context going into this year, this trade. It's just that he wasn't the best option, but he represents a very good height offset opportunity, and so but this postseason he's completely blown everyone out the water. He's averaging 18 points, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks a game. Oh my goodness, 5 blocks a game, 5.4 blocks actually, 61% field goal percentage, 95 free throw percentage. Oh my goodness, he is balling his ass off right now. Like he is really like, I don't know, something just kicked into gear. He's been on this horrible Miami team for the last 3 years. And now he's just thrown into the fire, thrown into a team that's trying to win a championship damn near, in Minnesota. And they're asking him to be the defensive anchor when he's never really shown that ability. But he is fucking stepping up to the plate, man. And you got to hand him his flowers for that. Like bravo. You know what I'm saying? Like he played 40 minutes today, man. Like this dude is doing his damn thing. Terrence Rose, he had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 blocks. And he actually played some pivotal minutes in some of that fourth quarter when Randolph Jennings had to take a bit of a breather. He was not playing very well. He was running on fumes, and Terrence Rose came in and took that spot a bit, so he could rest a little bit, and then he came back with fresher legs. And Terrence Rose, and he kind of held it down in that little spot. He didn't just, the game didn't just go away from us, and that means a lot in the playoffs when you can have someone from your bench, when you can have somebody that you're not normally relying on to come into the game and actually be impactful, or at least just hold the fort. Bare minimum hold the fort, but especially be impactful. And he was. He had 4% for the field, not great, but you see that turnaround mini, he hit some timely shots. He got some good rebounds and he blocked some shots, and that's what we needed from him, man. And he did that. Tim Sutton, 10 points. He's only averaging 37% field goal percentage. Only averaging 37% field goal percentage. Oh boy. He's 38, y'all. Like, goddamn. Like, don't be too hard on him. His legacy is already kind of set in stone, but it's just it sucks to see him go out like this. He's not going out like this. They might win this game, and he didn't have a horrible game today. But it's just he's clearly taking a step back from his prime. But that's okay. He's human, right? Or at least in this world, or theoretically at least. Otis Chambers, he's averaging 22 in the playoffs. A 10-point per game decrease from his 32-point per game season. That's okay though. He's only 22. That's the thing. Like, this team doesn't have anyone in their prime actually. Like they have dudes post prime and pre prime. Is that a word? Pre prime. They have dudes before their prime and after their prime. No one on this team is in their prime, except Roland O'Neal and McGuire. I guess like they're probably in their prime technically, but for what that's worth. Zach Mann went scoreless. Wally Red went scoreless. My goodness. And yeah, on the Sun side of things, none of them were super efficient. Just looking at it here. Jennings 23 and 10, 9 for 22 from the field. Miles 24, 6, 5, and 8 for 25 from the field. Interesting. Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie. Tyson Miles is kind of locking up Otis Chambers a little bit. Like, Otis Chambers, like, he only had 8 points. He only had 8 points, 4 for 10 from the field. Tyson Miles is just a lot bigger and stronger than he is, and it's pretty hard for Otis Chambers to kind of drive and get his way around him. He's a nimble scorer. He gets his way, in NBA defenders. He averaged 32 points a game. He knows how to score, but, he's just having a bit of a difficulty, especially tonight. But Tyson Miles, my goodness, I'm looking at it here. He's not exactly, he's not exactly dominating either. He's only averaging 21 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 39% from the field during this playoff run so far. That's shocking actually, because in the earlier years, especially in year 2 to 3 for him, he was like averaging 30 on ridiculous efficiency in the playoffs. Like, that's what caught everyone's eye. They're like, oh my God, who is this? Who is this? Like, Jordan? Like, who is this? Chavez? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who is this guy? because he was just playing at that high a level in the playoffs as a young guy on this team, and they were like, oh shit, like we could win a championship with this guy, you know, like they held on to him for a reason, but he's struggling tonight in this playoff series, and Taylor Jennings, he's only averaging 43% on the field goal percentage for the playoffs too, 28 and 12 assists, so fantastic, you know, numbers, but the percentages are a little lackluster, 32% from three. All right, TJ, you know, all right, TJ, you know what I'm saying? What's going on here? We need you to step it up. He only had 23 points tonight. This is, I don't know. Pete McGuire is about 6'4", and Taylor Jennings is only 6'1", so maybe he's having trouble scoring on him a little bit. I'm not sure, because theoretically, like this isn't like a crazy, like Peter McGuire's not a defensive specialist or anything by any means. He's pretty tall for a point guard. He has a bit of some muscle on him and stuff. He knows how to play defense, but he's not the best. He's not going to lock you down necessarily. Not whatsoever, actually. He's not going to lock you down. But so I'm surprised to see Taylor Jennings, you know, not really having his way here. But Steven Gibson is averaging 21 and 12 with 5 blocks a game himself. Holy shit. 36 years old. My goodness. 61% from the field. This dude is still hooping at elite levels. That's what I was saying in the last video. Like, we're going to have some uncomfortable conversations about Steven Gibson. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is doing his damn thing. And Johnny Booker, 15 rebounds. My goodness. Yeah, but Roderick Sampson, he did his thing. Wow. Look at this stat line. 11 points, 7-7-7-4. Holy shit. 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 7 steals, 4 blocks. Is that he almost had a 5x5 or damn a 7x5, you know what I'm saying? He almost had that shit. If he had 3 more blocks, he'd have a 7x5. That'd be crazy. But yeah, man. Christopher Sullivan, yeah, no one else really did shit. But yeah, so this team, this Minnesota squad is struggling a little bit, unfortunately, but they're up 4 right now, so we'll see. Let's head back into the game. I know the court sound is off, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't, but you know, we have a little bit of audio difficulty. We all right though. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we're up 4 points. Oh, Johnny Booker gets a clean look from 3 and he nails it. My goodness. Phoenix was really trying to come back here. Minnesota, they had about they had like a 13-point lead, 15 maybe. They had a pretty sizable lead at one point, and Phoenix just keeps chopping down. No way. Oh my goodness, Steven Gibson with the layup, giving Phoenix the lead over Minnesota. Are they going to spoil Peter McGuire's breakout game, 31 points? Is it going to go to use? Or are they going to go to some snooze? Man, oh man. We'll see. Things getting spicy here. We got 34 seconds left to go with the fourth. 1 point game. Let's go. Roland O'Neal inbounding the ball. Looks like he will pass it to. We got people cutting. Oh! The steal by Taylor Jennings. He drives in, gets it blocked by Sutton. Miles with the rebound. Kicks it back out to Jennings. He kicks it to Steven Gibson, who dunks it. Oh, my goodness. What the heck? What a catastrophe. That was the worst case scenario for the Minnesota Timberwolves. My goodness, Roland O'Neal. What the hell type of pass was that? You couldn't just pass it like a normal person? You just had to fucking throw it into the crowd? What the fudge was that? Taylor Jennings grabs the steal and just darts up the court, gets blocked by Sutton, gets the ball back, gives it to Steven Gibson, who just gets around Randolph Jennings. Look at this. Just simple. Like, he just straight up walks around him, gets in front of Taylor Jennings in front of the rim, and just dunks it. He is too big, too tall, too strong to be giving him inside position like that to Randolph Jennings. You know this. What is going on here? God damn it. You know, this is the problem with Randolph Jennings. He's a great player and all. He's a very great player, very integral, very Minnesota legend. You know, like his jersey's gonna get retired, like Minnesota legend. But he's kind of hard to game plan around a little bit because he's undersized 4, he's 6'10". He's not a great jump shooter. He can hit it like he does. He hits it more often than not. I'll say that. He hits it more often than not. But he's not a sniper necessarily. But he can get hot. You know, he's not a sniper though. So he's not necessarily super dependable from beyond 3-point range. He has very nice mid-range. But he's so small, like on the inside, like this how do I explain? Like this league has 7-footers most of the time. 7-footers, 7'2", 7'3", like 7'4" even. Like they have guys like that at the 4 and the 5 nowadays in the league. So having a 6'10" 4 is very, very like damn near taboo, you know. But they make an exception for him because he's so damn good. But that comes back to bite him. Like when he's faced up with someone like Steven Gibson, that really like that disparity really shows. He cannot really guard him, even though he's old as dirt. Like he's having a lot of trouble guarding Steven Gibson, man. And Steven Gibson is not having a horrible time guarding Jennings, unfortunately. And in fact, an interesting part of this is that Randolph Jennings, back in the 2081 finals, when Minnesota made the finals for the first time in whatever 30 years, with Tim Sutton and Randolph Jennings was at the 3. Yes, Randolph Jennings was at the 3 when they made the finals back in 2081. And Tim Sutton was at the 1, and they had a player named Jamie Moore at the 2, who was 6'10" himself. Because they got him from Dallas, who I've mentioned him in the Dallas video, but they got him from Dallas, and he was supposed to be the 3, and then they had like a bunch of centers, and so they said, fuck it. Put Tim Sutton at the 1, he's 6'4", so put him at the 1, put Jamie Moore at 6'10" at the 2, put Randolph Jennings at 6'10" at the 3, and then they had Nate McCoy at the 5, who's like 7'2", and then they had Trevor Anderson, who's like 7 foot, at the 4 or at the 5, whatever. Those two switched. And so they had this like ridiculously tall lineup. They were getting all the rebounds. They were blocking shots. It was like this crazy offense and defense. Jamie Moore like was just shooting over people. It was just great. And so they've had like moments of size and being oversized and undersized. So their most successful iteration of this team is with Taylor. I keep saying Taylor. It's with Randolph Jennings at the 3. That was their most successful lineup. But you know, as he's gotten older, like he kind of naturally is a 4 anyway, but he was more in his prime. He was more athletic. He could get away with playing the 3 full time back then. He can't really do that nowadays, so he kind of has to stay at the 4. But he's more effective at the 4 because he's a better post defender than he is a perimeter defender, and he's a very good rebounder. So it's better to have him at the 4. And he can shoot, like in theory, and he can score. So it's nice to have him at the 4 because there's not a lot of 4-man that can do that. I don't know, he's solid. He's very solid. He's good. But it's hard to win championships with just solid and good, like at certain areas. Like certain areas like post defense and shot blocking, like that's something that you really need to have, you know, in order to win championships, especially in this league with so much towering presences in the league. And Phoenix has just that. They have, you know, Roderick Sampson and Steven Gibson and Christopher Sullivan. They have all these guys that are blocking shots left and right. Chase Ellis, you know, just swatting shots away constantly. And so if you can't match that energy on the other end, it's going to be very difficult for you to beat this team. And Roland O'Neal does his thing, you know, like he's averaging 5-6 blocks a game this season. I mean, this series, but he can't be the only one. You know, you need to have multiple. And Otis Chambers is better suited at the 2, I think, than at the 3. Even though he is 6'6", he can get away with it, but he'd probably be better at the 2. With someone like Jennings at the 3, at least his size, you know, someone that's bigger than Chambers to be at the 3, so he can guard the other team's best wing players and stuff, and be the physical presence on the wing, because Otis Chambers is a bit wiry, you know, he's a little bit wiry, as you can see. So Tim Sutton is a little bit of the odd one out, low key, even though he's a legend. Like at this point, you know, he's a little bit old, so he doesn't have the same athletic burst. He can't generate the same advantages that he used to, you know, at his age at this point. And so he's a little bit of a liability out there sometimes because of that. Like we can watch him against Tyson Miles. He can't exactly create very many advantages at this point. As Randolph Jennings gets in for the easy deuce, and Tim Sutton fouls Tyson Miles over in the corner. Phoenix is up by 1 with 15 seconds to go. Let's see what happens. They're inbounding the ball. Yeah, they're going to keep fouling. But yeah, as I was saying, Tim Sutton, I mean, he's had a fantastic career, and but it's a little bit holding the team back, I think. Like, this is just a theory. I don't know if this is necessarily true, but he might be holding them back just a little bit because of he's not very sizable. He's only 6'4" at the shooting guard position. Most shooting guards are about 6'6", 6'7", something like that in this league. So he's pretty undersized at that point, and he doesn't have the athleticism at this point in his career to back that up, you know, to make up for it. Whereas he used to, and it was just fine. Now he has to work a lot harder to get to where he needs to go, and it's just not doing it, especially in a championship type of, you know, environment. Like if you're trying to win a championship, like you need to be able, like they need to not be able to take away what you want to get to. Not that you're trying to squeeze anything left that you got, you know. So, yeah. as Phoenix goes up 2-1. Pete McGuire and his 31-point game go to shame. Unfortunately, they have to walk out with the, man. Like I was saying, like Tim Sutton. Like I just hope. I don't know, man. I don't know where they go from here. Like, because I like it sounds like it's not over. It's not over. The series is not over. Nowhere near. Otis Chambers still hasn't even woke up yet necessarily. Like he's still kind of hiding in the chambers, if you will. Randolph Jennings still got to wake up as well. But they're taking away a lot of their strengths, honestly. Like, they can't really play up-tempo because of, Tim Sutton and his age and all that, and Randolph Jennings' age. They can't really play fully up-tempo. They can't really play fully slow down half-court offense. Their half-court offense isn't the best necessarily, even though it's very good. But Phoenix has a very good half-court defense. That's the point. Like, Phoenix, if you're banking on your half-court defense, then good luck. It's not. You're not going to win very much banking on that. You're going to need to score in transition if you want to beat this team. And so if they can't really do that, then they don't really have much of a hope. Yeah. But Minnesota, they just don't have very many assets. They don't have very many young, talented players. They kind of gave up on all that, during this championship hunt, this window of Tim Sutton's career. They've been giving away a lot of assets and stuff. And so now they really don't have a lot to show for it. Unfortunately, they didn't get the championship done. And I think they're a bit past the prime at this point. And unfortunately, they don't really have many assets. Otis Chambers kind of saved them, to be honest. I mean, not even kind of. He 100% saved them. 100%. They were going downhill. They drafted Otis Chambers, and this dude is a star. And so, he brought them back, and now they were the 2 seed. But they're going to have to build around him going forward, clearly. And I don't really know how they do that because they really, like I said, they don't have any young talent. They don't have any young talent that's worth a damn. Completely honest. None of these dudes are shit. This dude was a 2nd round pick. This dude was late first. They're not worth shit. So it's rough. They might have to trade one of these guys or something. I don't know if it doesn't work because I doubt they win a championship this year. Even if they get past Phoenix, they're probably not going to beat either one of these guys, OKC or Dallas. So yeah, I don't know. Let me not write them off. Let me not do that. But I'm just saying personally, But the next game we're gonna have Chicago Bulls versus the Toronto Raptors. So make sure you tune in, like and subscribe, and turn on that post notification so you don't miss that video when it comes out. And I will see you next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.